Loud clang with it. Exactly. I may be older and slower, but it should be like. Okay. I was just talking about she gets on the parents.
That's mine.
The other one's Mark's.
You're on deck.
Okay.
That goes on my head.
Yep, okay.
Right in front of the chin strap.
Who am I fighting?
Get it over my face.
You're fighting Mark. Of course I am.
Ben, Sean, typical.
You know, some people like to go for a warm-up.
Yeah.
Other people like to be thrown in
My
the
helmet's
deep end.
there, my gloves are there.
Ben, AJ, you're up.
I'm sorry, getting into armor is the warm-up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm warm now.
You're on deck.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a display of chivalry and sword handling from the South Tower Guild. First and foremost, ladies, gentlemen, the Queen. Mom, do you have a message for the crowd?
You're welcome. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Do you have sufficient ammunition? Excellent. Will you be delivering them on a regular basis, or are you giving us an analysis first? Sure. Sorry, will you be throwing them at our head? Excellent. To that end, we'll start, as we always should, with the battle. Knights to the field. Now, you'll see that our knights are fully armored, but they will be fighting with rebated weapons. What you'll see is approximating a medieval duel. There are some techniques that you will not see, because at the end of the day, we all like to remain friends. And if we use those techniques, no one will be friends afterwards. Are you ready, Sir Mark? Sir Matt, do you bear any lethal weapons? Hands,
no, Marshal.
feet, breath?
Just a few, Marshal, but I can rebate them.
Very well. Salute. Queen. Lay on. Sword boy. wish another pass?
There we go.
That's good. One more pass. A warning. You will notice that we have.
His thumb is, his gauntlet is broken.
None.
His gauntlet is broken.
Oh. His hinge is a little.
He's unhinged, is he?
I saw his gauntlet bend.
Feel safe going on? Okay. You'll notice there are 2 ropes. The reason we have 2 ropes is you have to stay behind the other one because if 70 pounds of armor attached to anywhere between 130 and 260 pounds of knight comes crashing down on that rope, it's not going to hold. Additionally, you want to stay behind that outer rope because there's a limited field of vision and anybody at any time can swing a sword back. And then we have to fill out a paper.
Okay,
Sir Matt, salute. Sir Mark, salute. Acknowledge the Queen. Lay on. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Mark and Sir Matt, thank you both. Pumpkin and stand up, please. Now I mentioned that the blades that we're using are rebated, which means that they have a dulled edge. This sword that I have to my hand is also rebated. So just so you get the idea, this is not safe. These are trained professionals who are used to this sort of roughhousing. But these weapons are just as deadly.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Oh, yeah!
Nice, same line. Okay, you can get rid of it. So when you think that it's rebated means safe, rebated does not mean safe.
Just means
It just means a little duller than normal. Okay, can you move this please? 2 fighters to the field.
Hang on a second, there.
Wait one, Marshal.
All right. While we wait for a slight armor issue to be resolved, let's talk about the sword. Would you consider this the preeminent battlefield weapon of most of human history? Yes. Yes? No?
Yes.
No, it was the spear, but the sword is much better. For those of you who have been brushed up against physics,
or the pike.
this is a Class B lever. It has a center of gravity around which it pivots, which means the more speed I put in this going backwards, the faster the tip moves. Those of you who've been raised on Bugs Bunny cartoons and the classic overhead chop, you will not see any of that here. Because swords will run anywhere between 2 pounds to 7 or 8 to the big montantes, or 2-handed, 5-handed blades. But they are way too heavy to swing around with just the strength of your arm. So what you will see is a lot of stepping and the blade rotating. That way it's the body that moves the blade, not the hand and the muscle. If you try and work a sword on muscle alone, you will get tired fast. So how long do you think you can fight for? You. How long?
About 30 seconds, because I'll be going the other way.
That is, don't laugh, that is the single best way to deal with a fight. Run till you find someone else. That is my preferred method of facing a sword. But in the event that you can't do that, how long can you fight, sir? Correct answer is, of course, the rest of your life. And the longer you can keep up your strength, the longer that fight will be. Fighters, to the field. Now, you'll notice that Sir Ben is using a later period blade in a two-handed stance, where Lady AJ is using a single-handed shield. So these are fights from two different distinct time periods. Ben, will you be doing some half-sword techniques?
Probably.
Excellent. Remember, the period of medieval fighting was relatively short. You can take it to the 8th century to the 15th century, in which there were 3 to 4 distinct changes in the style of armor and weapons. Salute your opponents, please. The Queen? We haven't forgotten about you. Lay on! Now you'll notice that even though Sir Ben has whacked Lady AJ multiple times in the bonds, she's still fighting. One of the great lies that movies tell you is that a halfling with a stick can take down an armored opponent. That is simply not the case. An armored opponent is nearly invulnerable. The only spaces where they can be harmed is under the armpit, possibly through a hole in the neck, the outer or inner thighs, and of course the groin. We will not be targeting the groin today, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anybody watching. Lay on! Nicely done! Oh! Now, what Sir Ben did. Did anyone catch it?
Got to the throat.
I didn't.
He got the tip of his blade
On the throat.
in the space between the gorget and the helmet, which is one of the places that may be vulnerable in an armored opponent. How he did that, though, is what was really cool. As armor got better, swords became longer and pointier. So they could be used as a sword, or in the case of what Ben did, would you mind switching grip, please? This is called a half-sword technique. Ben, if you could turn to face the other side of the audience. This allows the sword to be used as a very accurate shield, or a very accurate spear for seeking out weak points in the armor. You want for another pass? Yep. One more pass, please. Something you'll notice is both Ben and Lady AJ are precision fighters, whereas Sir Matt and Sir Mark like to roll around on the floor in the mud, the blood, and the beer. These fighters are aiming precision strikes, looking for weaknesses in their opponent's form and in their armor. Thank you both very much. Salute. I'm always good.
Then on deck, Mark.
What do you like? Sword, shield, two swords?
Take it easy.
Yeah, go through. Now, as you see, Sir John is wearing a little less armor than his opponent, so they are going to go a little easy on each other. Having said, I know both of these individuals, so this is still going to be fun.
Come on, cheer!
No.
Work the crowd, work the crowd.
Salute your opponent. Queen. Lay on. Remember where I said everybody tries to stay friends? That was the friendly version. Lay on! Again, it's a great hit, but it doesn't do much on the case, Sir Andrew. Nice. Hold! You notice Sir John's blade stuck between his legs and slashed at the exposed parts of his thighs. Those remain exposed on most armored knights because that's the part that the horse goes on. Lay on. There! Hold! Well done. For those of you who may have missed it, Sir Andrew is wearing on his belt a poignard. This is a specially designed knife. It is like a misericord. It is meant to slip between the lines of the armor and remind a knight of his nobility, his mortality. Those Ambrose Bierce fans in the audience will have heard that somewhere. Thank you very much. Sir John, would you retire the field, please?
Next two on deck.
So let's talk a little bit about the armor. So you start with the helm or helmet. A helmet is technically a smaller helm worn underneath a bigger helm, but the language has changed. So is this a suit of armor?
Yes.
Yes, you'd be absolutely correct, except you're not. Suit of armor is a very modern name for this. What it would typically be is called a harness. So he starts with the helmet. You've got a cuirass protecting the chest. Spalders or pauldrons that protect the shoulders. Tops for the elbows. Fan bracers. And then thoughts. Do you think about how you start a fight by slapping somebody? I'm sure at least some of you have tried that. It used to be a lot more metal than it is now. Having said that, please don't. Having said that, we are biologically wired to start fighting if someone slaps us. It goes way back to our simian ancestors. So if you're going to do that, be ready to follow through. So from the bottom down, you've got the folds. Now you'll notice his folds are made of individual lames, which allow them to move up when he's on his horse. Tops, shin guards. Now you'll notice that Sir Andrew also has lovely chainmail in the spaces where he normally would be vulnerable. These are called voiders because they fill a void in his protective shell of armor. But unless you knock him down, sit on him and stab him, he is very hard to remove from the battlefield. Armor works. Thank you so much. Next two fighters in the field.
Marshal, next we have Mark and Sebastian.
Sir Sebastian to the field. Sir Sebastian is a learning knight. He has gone from squire and now is taking his training as a full knightly fighter. Remember, this is Sir Sebastian's second fight.
His mother will be really upset if he doesn't come home in one piece.
Is he the heir or the spare?
Technically, he's the heir.
Okay.
Where's the spare?
Look your opponent. Salute the queen. Lay on. Sir Sebastian, you are bleeding out. If you'll notice that Sir Mark came in and under his chainmail into the fluffy stuff underneath.
John, fine. That works good.
Lay on. Nice. Hold. Hold. Sir Sebastian, I got bad news. He was up and under your gorget several moments before you pulled that. Do you have another?
Yes, Marshal.
Lay on. Nice. Hold. Salute your opponent. Lead. Does anyone want the watermelon? Jason.
Me too. Well, wait. That's a good
Would anybody get some watermelon?
There you are. Make sure your mom knows about it first.
Yeah, is that I'm not sure that's per se. Can we get this cleared the field, please?
This is.
That's actually good.
Okay, good enough.
I use mineral oil to clean it.
Good point.
No watermelon.
Good enough.
The oil
the blade of you know what that means? Okay.
For Matt, it's gone. We'll take the field.
That's some forethought right there. Sorry, young sir.
Fighting spear versus
Fighters in the field.
Understood.
How are you doing? I don't think
Fighters. Salute.
Do what you gotta do. Come, let's go on. Bear up.
What level of force are you guys going to be fighting with? Sir, what?
How mean are you planning to be from that?
Not too mean today. Lay on then.
In someone's hand. Someone walked away with almost not the bomb.
Ladies and gentlemen, never forget that a shield is not just a defense, it is also a weapon.
Oh, come on!
Okay, gentlemen, salute your foe. So let's talk about the Squires.
That's elbow done.
So I need who wants to be a squire, kids? Who wants to be a squire? Show of hands. Stand up, come over, come in here. Squires, come in. Come on.
Once you made to have two.
So face the crowd, Squires.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little about your job.
And the other end.
Squires are assistants to knights. So your job, Squires, is to follow your knight into battle, which means you're going on campaign with them. You're traveling over the hills where the battle will take place. You will be drinking the same water that they're watering the horses from, and the horses are doing what horses do in the water. This means that dysentery is rampant in the camp. Unfortunately, you have got dysentery, and you are no longer a squire or anything else for that matter. Off you go. The rest of you stay here. So, when you accompany your knight to battle, you are responsible for making them comfortable. You will place them in their tent. You will bring them their food and water, and you will assist them in putting their armor on. Squires, how long does it take to put Andrew in his harness?
Roughly 45 minutes to an hour, Marshal.
Thank you. 45 minutes to an hour to get them ready for battle. Then you see them to the horse and send them off to battle. When they come back from battle, it is anywhere between 4 and 7 hours later. Sad news about medieval battles, there are no bathroom breaks. Worst news is, people still take it. When your knight comes back, you're responsible for getting them out of their armor. And then you are cleaning that armor that the knight has so generously decorated for you. You have specialized equipment for this. You've got some vinegar, and you've got a bucket of sand. So you're going to get the knight fed water. Chances are you're going to pass on dysentery to him. And then you're going to have to clean that using just vinegar. And then you're going to take the pieces of the armor, you're going to stick them in the barrel, add some sand, and you're going to roll it around the field until it's clean again. You still want to be a squire? All right. You're as brave as a Rolling Stone roadie. Kneel. Oh no, you got to put the shield into the side of my head.
That's something bad.
Thank you all very much for volunteering. Oh, dear. It's better. typically in tournaments. On a battlefield, anything can happen. So, Sir Ben is bringing a training version of a sword called a Montante. This is meant for cleaning spear walls. Because getting everybody and having spears facing out is an age-old technique. It worked for the Greeks, and it has worked for 14th, 15th, and 16th century armies very well. A wall of spears is tough to get through. And that is what Sir Andrew has brought with him today. This would be typical of a late period medieval spear or the sarissa used by the Spartans and other Greek phalanx formations. So what's going to happen is Sir Ben is going to try and force his way past that spear to get to Sir Andrew. Sir Andrew is going to try and keep Sir Ben from wrecking him. Salute your opponent. Salute the queen. Lay on. Oh. Sir Ben, your throat is gone. Well done. Good boy. Hold.
Try not to focus on no one likes that.
Lay on. Hold. Nicely done, Ben. Salute. Lay on.
I think that's boom.
Great, well done. Can I get the final
I'm afraid I'm gonna
Sorry,
get
can we get the pumpkin move forward?
I'm gonna get hit with a I'm gonna get hit with a
Splash them like that.
So a little bit more about swords.
Yep.
The swords that you've seen so far are modern reproductions of medieval blades and some 15th century blades. It used to be that your sword was your sword and it was very individual to you or to your family. As the times progressed, 15th century, 16th century, standing armies began to appear in Europe. When you have standing armies, you have standardized equipment. It's one of my favorite areas of swords. So instead of it being your sword, it was the boss's sword. One of the first times we saw this was in Scotland with those great claymores. not an anti-personal weapon. Mel Gibson lied to you. They are an anti-equine weapon. They're for horses. What you would do is you would get your boys out on the field and you'd say, you are my best boys. You get the big sword. See those guys on horses on the hill? They come up ripping and tearing sword nuts. The horses. And then when the battle was over, you pick up the sword from the field, you brush your best guy off with it. Next battle. During the age of sail, wooden ships and iron men, most of the crew would not have their own swords. The armor would have buckets of swords. And when the two orders was called, they would pull out the swords and they would hand them out. This is an example of one of those swords. This is approximately 200 years old and it's from the French naval period, approximately model 1853. So right at the tail end of the golden age of piracy. Or actually the tail end of piracy in the Caribbean. You'll notice that it's built as simple as possible. It's easy to maintain, it's easy to clean, and it rarely breaks. It carries a lot of weight in the grip and the guard, both to protect the hand, and as you can see by the length of it, this is a close quarters combat weapon. However, for all of that, it is very effective even on days that I am not.
It just took a slice out of that thing.
It did.
Oh, no. You don't know, yeah, it's just a tiny crack. Oh.
Tiny crack?
I don't think my sword can do that. Yeah.
Nope.
Me either. Yeah!
This is really embarrassing.
Cut it all in half. He doesn't want to give
Third time's the charm. Some days it's like that.
Who wants to carve a pumpkin?
I think it's already done.
Hey, let's do it again.
Fighters to the field! Yes.
Quite fast and
All right. Fighters! So me and your opponent. This is interesting. Sir Mark is a bruiser among bruisers. He is ridiculously unnaturally strong. AJ is a creature of precision. This should be fun. Lay on!
Wait, want to make some more berries?
Well, I wanted to wait till after the fight to confirm. Lay on! Now you'll notice something really important here. Most of the they're keeping their shields in front of their body.
Yeah, but right now
That's where it belongs. If your shield is somewhere over here, You're Brad Pitt and shouldn't be on the battlefield. Lay on. Your opponent. Look, wait. Confirm yourself carry.
We'll get it over the arm.
Field. Sebastian, this is your third fight, right? Excellent. Neither be a fourth. Salute your opponent.
I still can't hear you guys. Like, come on.
Tester, job opportunity. Fighters, salute your opponent. Salute the queen. Lay on. A little bit about armor. There's a myth that armor is super heavy and super cumbersome. Only one of those is true. It is heavy, anywhere from 45 to 80 pounds. But anything you can do in your normal clothes, you can do in armor, just not clothes.
Oh! That's the Andrew, you're the Denver. Marshal, that bet goes to not Andrew. I'm bad with names. Sebastian, yes.
Lay on. Oh! Nice. Yep. Yep.
So, I just want to make a point because we did that perfectly there. When you're in full defense, it's damn hard to hit someone. But as soon as you go for a strike, you're always opening yourself up. And that's what we've done a couple times now. I come in for this, great, I killed him. He gets sword in me, I'm dead too. Nobody wins. So,
Except the audience. Another little bit of medieval minutia.
They are real swords, but they're blunt.
Is Sir Andrew armed, Sir Sebastian?
And the points are...
Is Sir Andrew armed?
The points have something on them that are...
Yeah, I agree with you.
They have a piece of rubber on the end of it.
If I take, this is how sneaky he is, by the way. He's got another point.
Boy Scout, be prepared!
I do not mind the strike sinister. I'm a big fan of it. I like walking away after that. Or even better, riding. Is he still armed? Yes. Well spotted. Now, I've got his 2 poignards and his sword. Is he still armed?
No, he just dropped his shield.
Yes.
He is still armed. To be armed. Thank you, Your Majesty. To be armed is to be wearing a suit of armor. More specifically, as I told you, a harness. And, like the best dressed of today's age, he is dressed to kill. If he needs a weapon, he can very easily procure one from the battlefield. There will be plenty lying around. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Sir Andrew? That brings an end to our presentation for today. Back at 2:30 for some more battles. The Knights will be around if you'd like to say hi or have any specific questions.
I'll stay around.
First time I've used this like this, I just